Oh, the humanity! Welcome to CFG Games Review of Humanity, a brand new puzzle game that'll feel familiar and fresh. It blends existing ideas in an elegant, minimalist way. Let's ascend and check it out. You're a dog directed by an aimless voice to guide people to the light. As you clear stages, you'll dive further and further into this surreal, abstract world alongside more mysterious text. The game is a 3D puzzle platformer. If you remember Lemmings or perhaps The Incredible Machine, some of the game flow will feel familiar, but enough crusty references. You move a dog across a blocky environment and place commands. An infinite crowd of people walks forward, and they'll turn, jump, and perform even more actions as they walk over your commands. And the goal is to direct the crowd so that they reach the designated goal. This all controls well as the dog moves quickly and snappily and can jump quite high. But as you can imagine, the game has a slight learning curve. For some, including myself, the mix of platforming and puzzle solving may take a while to click. It may take multiple tries to figure out each stage's internal logic, and it's not a hand-holdy game, so if you make a mistake, the game isn't going to tell you to start over. It throws other wrenches that'll keep you on your toes. For example, humans can only fall so far, they'll push and swim and climb on their own, they'll sometimes even spawn from multiple entrances, and sometimes you'll have to dive into the crowd to actually go somewhere. Figuring out how to direct the crowd can take a bit of finesse and practice. It's advisable to plan and place nodes ahead of time, but sometimes things just go awry and you'll need to hustle and redirect crowds, or just start over. The plus side is that the campaign does not feel like it has filler. Each stage feels pretty unique and substantial, and the game does not go totally off the rails. It'll gradually introduce new obstacles and designate a few commands per stage, so that things don't get too overwhelming. The campaign is also clearly divided into separate worlds, each with a given motif. You may need some perseverance to make it through the campaign, but really, once you get into the flow, solving stages feels quite rewarding. There are solution videos available per stage, but the game makes a note if you view them. Another aspect that shakes up the main campaign is the Goldies system. These are the optional collectibles that you can find in each stage. Once touched, each Goldie will actually come to life and join the crowd, but the caveat is that you can lose them if they fall off the stage, which will require a do-over. These Goldies are necessary for both progression and unlocks. You need a given number to move on to the next world, and they also unlock more mechanics and cosmetic options. This essentially means that the game requires enough understanding of its mechanics to go off the beaten path and collect Goldies rather than ignoring them, but usually the game gives just enough leeway so you don't have to hunt everything down or replay stages too many times to move on. And while I always look forward to the next unlock, the flow does feel a bit obtuse and strange. One might expect mechanics like seeing switch functions and stopping time to just be part of the game by default, but they actually have to be unlocked. On a sheer presentation level, the game's minimalist style is quite elegant. The world is stark with bold shapes, and the most color is actually from the crowd itself. But the sense of simplicity is striking, and the visual effects such as water translucency are compelling. Seeing the crowd move across each stage is delightful, especially with just how many are on screen at any given time. And audio-wise, there are some surreal lo-fi jams that will truly captivate you. The music gradually ramps up in intensity in a natural way, and much like the visual presentation, the audio design is remarkable in its simplicity. There are little subtle blips when you dive into the crowd, and you'll never get sick of the bark soundbite that plays when you drop a command. And as an aside, the subtle haptic DualSense rumble does feel wonderful and appropriate. You'll feel subtle rumbling if you're next to fans on the map, and the intensity will even change based on your position. Another important notable feature is that this game has a separate online user stages hub. You'll even make your own avatar with separate player and creator experience levels. The search functionality is quite robust with all sorts of tags and categories that you can select. There are a ton of courses to play, and by the time you watch this video, there will undoubtedly be plenty more. The stage creator handles smoothly while simultaneously being incredibly robust. With simple inputs, you can pick blocks, goals, power-ups, the visual motif, the song, and more, and it's pretty easy to quickly construct and test a new course, especially since the game has clear video tutorials and a clean user interface. Humanity delivers a perfect blend of platforming and puzzle solving alongside a sleek, beautiful presentation that's a bit bizarre and surreal. While completing the campaign might take some perseverance, especially with so many different obstacles, each stage feels unique, substantial, and rewarding. And if you want to shake things up, you can always explore the user stages and see what you can find out there. Humanity is worthwhile for puzzle enthusiasts or anybody seeking something different. As of the posting of this video, Humanity is included in the PlayStation Plus game catalog, so give it a shot if you're an extra or premium member. You certainly won't regret it. This has been Vin with CFG Games, and many thanks for checking out a review of Humanity. Don't forget to check out the rest of CFG Games' YouTube videos and our streaming channels too. We'll see you on the next one.